Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I thought I would pop up here and just do a video blog, I guess you would call it, or a vlog. I guess that's a proper term. I have no idea anymore. But yeah, I thought I would just come up here real quick and do a vlog post instead of a written one. Um, yeah, there's been this past week, I've got to tell you, it has been very challenging. In case you don't know, let me see here. Yeah, we've been in a Pluto retrograde for a while. We're approaching, I think we're at 1 degree here in Aquarius, with the retrograde, and it's going to be going back to Capricorn in September for a few months before we, or I should say, he starts his prograde uh, motion and then comes back into Aquarius. So yeah, we've had that going on. Then on the 30th, June 30th, um, I think it was, yeah, it was Saturn went into retrograde. And then a couple days later, on the 2nd, July 2nd, we had Neptune go in retrograde. And it's interesting because I was watching, as most of you know, I follow MJ Cranmore over on Soulful Revolution, over there on YouTube, with her readings. And I was watching the Aquarius reading. My sun, moon, and rising are Scorpio, Libra, and Leo, in case you don't know. But the reason why I was watching the Aquarius is because of my Lilith. My Lilith position is actually in Aquarius. I don't remember which house. And my Lilith has actually been speaking to me quite a bit. And it was interesting because in that reading, she was saying that was something that goes all the way back to April, and she couldn't remember. And it was something to do with the moon, and I could tell she was trying to figure it out and so forth. And it was just like, "Hello, eclipse season." I even posted it in the comments. So if you see my comments, yeah, or at least a comment there about having to do with the moon or what have you. I know I've gotten quite a few thumbs up. It's like, oh, okay. So yeah, that's me. Anyway, the reason why I'm bringing all this up is it seems like since then, and it seems like I've noticed it with a lot of people, and now with these retrogrades, it's just been one thing after another. And a lot of my stuff actually started right after those retrogrades, and everything. It's start of May. So yeah, it's been very challenging, and now with these with Saturn and Neptune going retro, I feel like I'm in a never-ending Mercury retrograde. It's just been one thing after another. It's like, yeah, don't get me wrong, nothing catastrophic or anything. A lot of it's been a lot of changes. Yeah, there have been quite a few changes. A lot of this inner work happening. A lot of challenges. A lot of things. A lot of decisions being made, or being put in positions where I'm needing to make decisions. Let's put it that way. Okay. And in some ways, I'm still, it's like I kind of keep going back and forth, that whole Seven of Cups sort of situation, back and forth constantly. So, yeah, I am just, and then this past week, I've got to tell you, it's been very challenging. Even with work, like last night, I'd have to say last night was probably the final straw. I'm like, that's it. I don't care. I'm taking the night off. I need a break. I need to unwind. I didn't even really go through any of I don't remember if I no, I did. But I'm just like, you know what? I'm walking away from watching any streaming TV, or I'm not going to listen to any music or anything. I'm just going to contemplate. meditate, just kind of be in the moment, watch the weather. We've had, I don't know if you saw my videos from yesterday or not, but we finally got some rain. That hasn't helped either. Well, the rain has helped. It's the temperatures. The weather hasn't helped with things, especially with the way people have been with the energies and so forth. It's definitely been flaring up a lot of temperature. I mean, tempers and so forth. In case you don't know, here in Vegas, we had 7 straight days of 115 plus degree temperatures, and at least 2 of those days were record breaking. We actually broke our all time record last Sunday, 120 degrees. So yeah, and then the next day was 119. So yeah, it's there's been a lot. Fortunately, my car has kept up, and yes, my wind. In case you did see the videos, or the blog post yesterday, yeah, my windshield wipers definitely work. Some more rain last night. People were driving very crazy, of course, and then I remember I had just picked up my first delivery order and I was on my way to drop it off at the customer. All of a sudden, the winds just picked right up. It wasn't too bad or anything. I'm used to high winds. I used to drive in hurricanes, and so forth. And of course, living here for 20 years with the monsoons and so forth, it really wasn't that bad. But it was kind of at a point where, especially with where I was driving at that particular moment, I was kind of going through a little bit of a construction area, and the roads were slick, and then the way the people were driving and so forth, and then all of a sudden the winds came up, and it was headwinds. I was watching for debris, mostly kind of right in front of me and so forth, and then I just happened to look a little bit further up the road, and I was about ready to hit a tree. I'm like, oh crud. And of course, I'm having to think last minute with all these cones and so forth. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then, of course, all the lightning. I was worried about being, getting struck by lightning. Yeah, they say, the safest place you're supposed to be is in a car during lightning. Obviously, those people have never lived in the desert. I have seen cars get struck by lightning and catch fire. So yeah, even with wearing rubber-soled shoes, yeah, no. Okay. So, and I'm like, oh my gosh, should I be out here or not? But I did it anyway. It was still wound up being a very challenging night and so forth. And I finally got to a point, especially when I had gotten a last minute request, somebody trying to get some food from a restaurant before they closed. Well, guess what? I wound up getting there after they closed. So, too bad. And after I was just done. It was a kind of a repeat of another situation I had to deal with earlier in the week, where somebody was trying to do that with a grocery store run. And it wound up being a total nightmare situation. And just, obviously, with these situations, I remind myself, you know what? Yeah, these are challenges, these are lessons. Everybody is, of course, on their own path and so forth. But and these are lessons for myself, for me to learn and everything. It could be these are strictly lessons. They can be the situations could be a lot worse, and I have been in those worst situations with um life and death sort of situations. I have been there. So yeah, I do remind myself of that and everything, but still, it's just kind of like, okay, and they come home and you're drained. And I've had some interesting dreams this week. Last night was one of them. And I woke up this morning like, oh my gosh, I just felt like I had been hit by a truck or something. I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. I need a break. So, yeah, anyway, yeah, I just thought I would pop up here and share what has been happening with me this week. With the storms. even, and yeah, there was quite a few fires. I could smell it, with the lightning striking on the mountains and so forth. Yeah, a lot of wildfires and so forth. Yeah, definitely was smelling it. But surprisingly, I didn't have any breathing difficulties. I was really shocked at that. So anyway, but yeah, if you're having, I figure I'd share all of this because if you're finding the same situation, it could be what it is. Okay. And I know that with Saturn going retrograde, especially with it happening in Cancer, it is actually happening in the sign of Pisces, but it's happening during Cancer season, of course, or starting during Cancer season. So we have that double edge there with it. Saturn it happening in Pisces, but during Cancer season, water, water. Oh my gosh, no wonder emotions are running fly and so forth. And Saturn, of course, being, basically the kind of the dictator of the planets, I guess you could say. So, so yeah, that's kind of, and then of course we have Neptune, which is the ruler of Pisces, and all those illusions coming out, being, yeah, just everything altogether. Oh, and that was the other thing I was going to mention too. I mean, the reason why I say I feel like I'm in a never-ending Mercury retrograde is I've been even having technological issues. So, I mean, even my glucose scanner, for my continuous glucose monitor, my sensors. I know you can't see it, but anyway, it's on that arm attached. I was even having problems with this last night. I'm like, seriously? It kept saying that it was connected to the computer, and my computer crashed months ago. I'm like, oh my gosh, what, really? I was just like, that's what I mean. Done. And of course now it's straightened around, and oh yeah, my car, it was gonna have I was having a repeat of an electrical problem, and that happened Friday night when the winds really kicked up, and then yeah, last night no problems. It's like, seriously, I am really being played with here. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Um, So yeah, that's why I was saying I feel like I'm in a never-ending Mercury retrograde here. Stuff that happened, a couple months ago. It's like, really? Okay, whatever. Oh my gosh. So, but yeah. Yeah, like I said, if you're finding yourself in same situations, it could be the reason why. I will admit I've been doing a lot of purging. Um, a lot of soul searching, but the main thing is I'm taking my sweet time. Uh, I'm trying to do the best I can to focus on self care, stay grounded. I'll admit I have been letting my yoga practice go in the mornings. Um, but really, in a way, I'm not, because yoga is really the core of what yoga is it's about self discovery, the inner work, the meditation, and so forth. So, what I've been doing instead with substituting is just before I do my morning affirmations, basically my morning gratitudes, um, I'm just kind of laying in bed and just searching, doing the inner work, and looking at each of these incidents that have been happening over here in the past week. Um, trying to look at them all from that different perspective, that hanged man, that number 12 card. Okay. I've been trying to do that, looking at them from a different perspective instead of looking at them as like, oh my gosh, that victim mentality that we can all have a tendency to do, like, oh my gosh, why is this happening to me? Instead of looking at it from that perspective, turning it around and being like, hey, what sort of thing, how can I turn this into a positive? And of course, with that positive, with it being, hey, this has happened. What sort of lessons can I learn from them? So, and I will admit it has helped quite a bit. Some things that have happened just rolling right off of me. It's like, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, um, yeah, try that. And it, with flipping that script, because it can help. Because even though we may have been through the ringer in life, some of it potentially life and death situations, and so forth. Um, and yes, you're still going to have those challenges. And the main thing is how you react to them. Yeah, we're all going to be pushed to our limits. We're all going to snap at some point, no matter how much positive mindset that we may try and have and everything. There's going to be those times where it's like where things are just going to accumulate and accumulate and accumulate to the point where, boop, that's it. And you got to take a step back and be like, hey, I'm done. And then that's the time where you go inward and reflect. Okay? So give that a shot and see and everything. Take your time. That's the main thing. Don't rush any of it. Just take your time. And it will be better. I promise. I know it will. And speaking of technological issues, I've noticed throughout the entire recording of this video that it has been giving me, my tablet's been giving me some issues. So I apologize for graininess and lagging and so on and so forth. So anyway, I also want to see about doing another blog post, a written one about something that you can do for positive affirmation. So I might see about doing that. I'm not too sure when. I'm just taking my time. At some point I will. So be on the lookout for that. And oh, by the way, I apologize for my Facebook viewers, the ones who look for my posts on Facebook. Yes, Facebook did take down yesterday's post, because I don't know if somebody reported or whatever, but somebody that somehow or another they got wind that the videos in that post were clickbait. And I'm just like, seriously? That's what I mean. More technological issues. So yeah, yeah, I submitted the report to Facebook, and so they reinstated the post, so it should be back up there in case you were looking for it again. It was basically just a post about the rain yesterday. It was like, oh, finally, we finally got rain, finally got cooler temperatures. So yeah, that's basically what it was. I was just so excited. I just wanted to post, and it was just like, and I wanted to make sure that it also was on my blog post. And it's so much easier to just post everything on the blog post and then share everything through the social media sites. It's just so much easier, so much quicker, for me anyway. So especially with all the sites that I belong to and have to do that with. So anyway, all right. I'll stop talking now. All right. Take it easy. Stay grounded. Stay centered. Keep your heart filled with love. Okay? I know it's challenging out there, especially right now. All right. And then, yeah, we do have more retrogrades coming up too. All right. All right. Stay safe. Stay tough. Stay sane. I love you all. Talk to you all soon.